just go
Well,
right
I
here.
don't know how you're doing it this way. I know you do it different.
Well, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. There we go. It looks like he's poking himself into the frame.
Good evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. You're not going to believe this, but a comedy show ruined my life. Thanks a lot, Trevor Noah from Comedy Central. See, my wife and I watch 10 minutes of YouTube a night, usually something related to political satire, because that's something we desperately need these days. And Trevor Noah had a segment on plastics, the horror of plastics, plastic mountains, plastic islands in the ocean. And by way of example, he showed us an orange and said, look at what we've come to as a society. Here's an orange, a perfectly beautiful fruit, colorful, orange color, comes with its own package, its own skin. And what do? We slice it up, put it in a plastic container, and sell it in the supermarket. I thought, that's pretty humorous, made the point. I looked at my wife, and her eyes are bulging out of her face, and she's muttering to herself, she's talking, she's saying a mantra. She's like, no plastics. I'm like, honey, I shake her, I say, honey, snap out of it. This is a comedy show, not the Green New Deal manifesto. Plus, we have a lot of mantras in our house. No meat, no sugar, no gluten, no dairy, no farm-raised fish. Cans of tuna have to be sustainably caught. Eggs have to be pasture-raised and certified humane. Honey has to be raw. Peanut butter organic. Wine kosher. I mean, I know we try to put a limit on American greed and conspicuous consumption, but shouldn't there be a limit to the things that we limit? And plastic, we don't even eat plastic. So the next morning, as I was percolating her proclamation while preparing for her a free trade, freshly made decaf espresso coffee, our son calls. And he's on the phone, he's like, world's going to end in 10 years. I said, really? What's that about? Who said that? Reliable source. Now the thing about our son is that you can't argue with him. Ever since he was little, I used to sing him nursery rhymes. Mary had a little lamb. No, she didn't have a little lamb. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, she had either a sheep or a little sheep or a lamb, but a little lamb there's no such thing. It's either a sheep or a little lamb. Okay, all right. This is his hat. He insists it's red, by the way. So I had to start singing to him, Mary had a lamb. And he said, what's mm-mm? I said, mm-mm is a beautiful word because you can fill in whatever you want. Adults, like your dad, fill something in, mm-mm lamb. And little kids can fill in whatever you want. So Mary had a mm-mm lamb. I got off the phone with him, and I thought, the world's going to mm-mm end in 10 years. I'm going to the market. I'm going to buy a big steak, some burgers, some ice cream, and pizza, and all the meat, gluten, dairy, and sugar I can get. I won't even unwrap the plastic. I'll just put it all in and start eating it all. And I look at my wife, and she's like, 10 years? You're lucky if you have 10 minutes left to live. I think we can all agree that there's one kind of plastic we can do without. The clamshell, you familiar with the clamshell? The molded plastic. Batteries, electronic items, school supplies, lots of things come wrapped in them. And they're impossible to open. When my daughter was 6, we had a big birthday party for her, and lots of kids, the adults were hanging out, they were drinking, the kids were playing. And my daughter comes up to me and goes, Daddy, can you open up this present for me? I said, sure, honey. She wanted it right then and there. So I grabbed a pair of scissors and I went to open it up, and it was the clamshell. So I'm a lefty, I already have problems with scissors to begin with. So I just started opening up and nothing is happening. So I go into the kitchen and I get a serrated knife and I start to cut the package. And the serrated knife makes a little scratch. That's about it. So I go and I get a box cutter. And I take the box cutter, open it up, and now I make a slit, which you're able to make with the box cutter. And you make a slit, but it's not wide enough. So now I'm putting my hands in there to try to make it wider. Nothing's happening. So I make another slit. And when I make another slit, I cut my finger. So now my finger's bleeding, and I'm putting my hand into the package to try to open it up. and nothing's happening. So I go in to get an ice pick, and I get an ice pick, and I come back, and the kids are looking like, what is this guy doing? And I start making holes in it, so I can put my finger in there to open it up. And I put my finger in there, and now there's blood oozing into the toy, and nothing is, I can't open the box. So I go back, and I come back with a saw. And I start with a saw, and I'm really angry now. I start sawing, and I'm sawing, and I'm no Houdini, but the toy was cut in half, and the box still wouldn't open. So I'm putting my hand in there, I'm trying to, and now I'm too far, and I throw the thing at the kids. The kids are screaming, my daughter's crying. The adults are looking at me like, who is this guy? I think we can all agree we can do without plastic clamshells. So I said, honey, okay, no plastic clamshells. All of a sudden, I see her running to my record collection. What are you doing? What are you doing? I know that records are vinyl and vinyl is plastic, but those are records from the 60s. They're about songs of love and peace and everybody together. And we didn't even care about plastics at the time. It was too late. The cleansing had begun. Do you know how hard it is to live without plastic? Forget about the top three: plastic bags, water bottles, and balloons. Forget about plastic straws. Everything comes in plastic, from toothpaste to hard candy. Things that are good for you: tofu, vitamins, protein powder, dental floss. I was in the supermarket and I saw sumptuous, delicious-looking red, seedless, organic grapes. And I reached out my hand to touch them, and they were wrapped in plastic. And much like you might meet somebody, make eye contact at a bar, at a party, maybe even at a Toastmasters meeting, but never really get to meet the person. I turned around, took an apple in my bag, and put it away. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Plastic is ubiquitous, and the list is endless. I'm bumping into things in my house because I can't wear these glasses. They're made of plastic. I'm bumping into things, but if my wife saw them, does she throw them out? And my steering wheel is covered with tacky leather fringe because it's made of plastic. If my wife had seen that, I wouldn't be able to drive here tonight. And you're lucky that she's not here because you're all sitting on plastic chairs. And the evaluators, at least some of them, are using plastic pens. Thankfully, beer, wine, scotch, and vodka come in glass bottles because I need a lot of that these days. And I'm fine. That is until Trevor Noah decides to make fun of glass.